here's another one of their no fueling signs or no refueling signs. There's a few more of their party favors, and I'm just a couple driveways down from where I just was, right there at the, they didn't have a number on it. But this is at Wetland number 22. Wetland number 22 with more party favors. You know, they're trying to make it look like it's all gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great party. I'm sorry people, but it's not gonna be fun. But this is, it says enter wetland number 22. So for those of you who may not know about wetlands, they're not always sopping wet with water. Sometimes it's dry, you know, and sometimes it's up on your property. But let me drive on down through here, and you know that the Kenny Harmon and Ronald Reagan in 1792 all intersect right up here. But this is the west side of 1792. You know, these are all private homes. We all drink from private wells. And here's some more of the party favors along a very deep stormwater ditch. And I think I'm pulling up on another power plant they just recently put in. I don't know if it's a transfer station, a little substation, or what. But more of the party favors. You know, caution overhead power lines. You know, it's just hard to believe that they're spending money doing that. But this is another place that is, let me see if I can get this Rockford access road. It's gotten twisted around. But I'm gonna get out here and show a couple things, point a couple things out. You know, more of the rock they put in so they don't get stuck on a driveway that was already built up. There's a culvert pipe that was put in a long time ago. It's Rockford Access Road 04. I don't know what this said. I'd have to put it together, but I don't really know what it said, but it's styrofoam down in the water. But they spend this money putting this over top of it, and this is taxpayer money, I'm sure. I'm sure that, you know, the fracking industry's not paying for it. They made a deal with the county. And here's another one of those signs where they black out one side. Undoubtedly, they're doing that. And then on the other side, where nobody can even see it, you got enter wetland 24A. What happened to the exit of the last wetland? And why are they blacking out the one side? I guess they don't want the public to know that this is all wetland. So this is the Duke Energy Loftman substation. 6429 Highway 1792 North 33896. That helps anybody document where I'm at. I think that wetland sign should document a point on the map. Sorry, I haven't studied the maps all that much. But again, wetland 24A. And I appreciate your comments making me aware that I need to do a better job of actually getting some documentation of where I'm at so we can pinpoint this on the map, so that when we get to filing complaints, we can document where the problem is. Thanks for the education, and I mean that respectfully. You know, I know what I know, you know what you know, together we can. All right, let me get back in the truck and cruise on down this route of the pipeline. And this would be, I'm on, when I left the Central Florida hub, this all became the Florida Southeastern Connection pipeline. And this is all wetland. I mean, this road drops off a good 4 to 6 feet. That ditch has water standing in it. That power plant that I just left, the Loftman substation, was built up about 6 foot. So this is all wetland area. I mean, come on, Florida's the swamp. This is another one of those Rockford access roads. Let's see if I can get the sign. I'm getting kind of tired of getting in and out, but it's Rockford access road 0.05. You know, I started at 0.1, so undoubtedly I'm at the 5th one from where the Central Florida hub is. More of the party favors, showing these very smart guys. This must be where this thing's gonna cross the road. Another one of the blacked out signs. So let me go over and see what's on the other side. This has got to be where they're going to cross the road and start going down the west side. Party favors. And here's the blacked out wetland sign because they don't want nobody to know. But on the other side of it, wetland number 25. This is the exit. So I guess the wetland's on the other side of the road. But there's a little marker right there, and I'm going to assume, and it is an assumption, that that's probably a pipeline route marker where they're going to actually put the pipe underneath this stake. Yeah, let me see. Maybe there's a survey guy in our group. So you got, let me get this right. You got PI 90 degree 11 foot 56 inches LT 78 plus 93. So I'm sure that will help on some map somewhere. Oops, going the wrong way. But I'm putting a pipeline, and I guess they're going to put a 90 degree to go across the street. And I don't know what the 1156 is, or the LT, or the 7893, but I'm sure somebody can figure it out. That's why I keep saying, thanks for your help. So the other sign said exit to wetland number 25. This one over here right next to it, because, let me back up so I can pan over. There's the one, and there's the entry to wetland number 25. I don't know how you can enter and exit and never cross the road or anything, but I guess you can. And I don't really know what these blue and white ones are, because there's no markings. Well, yeah, there is. AR7. That's Greek to me. But more of the wetland delineation. Sorry for my inability, but here it says wetland entry 79 plus 28. So, and there's another, oh, I guess this little this little ditch, because you got the entry to the wetland, and then this one here is the exit to the wetland. So I guess this stormwater ditch is considered wetland. Funny how they name things and classify things. And yeah, some really nice looking water down in the bottom of that stormwater pipe. So let me walk across the street, because I could swear there was a wetland number 25A right down the street. And now we got wetland number 25 on the other side of 1792. As well as a no fueling or no refueling sign. Sorry for the length of this video, but just trying to document the route here. Now you got enter and exit over there of number 25. You got enter of 25A. And I could swear right down there was where that power plant is. The substation was 25A. I could be wrong, but here's the no refueling sign. And then you got the enter of 25A. You know, it's a wetland entry on that marker or that stake. And more of the, this is definitely shell, like fossilized shell. You know, it's coral rock, or it's got shells in it. I mean, you can see the fossilized shells right in it, you know. This isn't cheap stuff to buy. And you got a stake there that says AR8, more of the water delineation. And There's a stake back out in the wood, out in the woods. This is, I know this is wetland, you know. And I'm getting close to where the backhoe was stuck. I just got to get on down the road. So let me move on down. There's another little flag back in there that says water delineation on it. I can see it. You probably can't, but now here's some kind of white streamers running back through here, and they got them all lined off. I wonder what that's all about. It's funny what you run across when you're observant and aware of things going on. But they've come in here and cut down some limbs, undoubtedly to do the surveying, you know. And they got this white one walking all down through here. Says TWS 81 plus 21 COR. I really don't like the abbreviations. I don't know what it all means. But more of their little flags tied to the trees, I guess, to let their workers know that this is wetland. And then another wetland entry on the side of that post, or the side of that survey stake. And then it's the white stuff ends. So undoubtedly they're going to wipe out all of this. But we did at least slow them down where they're having to do it by hand. But believe me, I'm going to keep my eye on this by hand or not. Because what we're doing is working. You know, if all we can do is slow them down for now, at least it gives us a little more time to get a better plan. Let me see what this one's got red. Oh heck, I like this stake. It's got red, white, and blue on it. Okay, the CL I would think would be center line of the Florida Southeast. I'm not sure if that FSC stands for, but I would take it's the Florida South something. It says 80 plus 71 HDD entry, which I don't know if that's high or hydraulic directional drilling, what it might stand for. But they plan on ruining all of this because there's not even a place to set up a machine like that that won't be in the wetland, because all of this is wetland. Everything on the east side of 1792, and most of the stuff on the right hand side is wetland. But I will continue. All right, try and get back across this road. So just to kind of document where I'm at, let me see if I can zoom in on that sign right there. It says Kenny Harmon Road to the left, Ronald Reagan Parkway, oops, got off of it, Ronald Reagan Parkway to the right. I got this strange feeling I might be being followed. This little bucket truck wasn't parked here when I first stopped, but I don't know, Frontier Communications, maybe not. I'm just very aware of people are taking pictures of me, and I need to get over here on the other side of this here street and figure out how this pipeline's coming down through this section, because I know the person that owns this corner lot here that I'm trying to get him to allow us to do some kind of protest there, but people don't really want to be that. You know, they're afraid of the repercussions. And I understand it, but where those pieces of equipment were, the equipment's gone, but there's 2 trucks sitting down there now. So I'm gonna drive back down there. I'm gonna be taking a left on Kenny Harmon, which would be heading east on Kenny Harmon Road. And I'm gonna go back down to where the equipment was and kind of take a glance at what these trucks are and whose names are on them. You know, it's where the burial, where the headstones that I found. And we don't think they're Native American headstones. We kind of are leaning towards that they might be a labor camp. But there's the orange markers, and it's search archeological. So yeah, okay, that's cool. So I'm gonna go down here and turn around and go back and talk to these guys. I don't know if I can keep my phone going, but I'll try. Set this down and see if I can pull over here and talk to this guy at all. See if I can pick up any of the conversation.